Let's get it. Yeah,
Let's get it, man.
we back at you.
It's your boy Cobe Rise and Rise. You
You
dig? It's
already
your boy
know.
Showtime. You feel me? We
Show
back at it
team.
again. You dig? Rise and Rise Academy.
Let's
How
go.
you
Let's
feeling, big
go.
dog?
I'm great, man. Blessed and favor, man. Good things are happening. Good things are happening.
Hey, man, I
Yes,
love it.
sir.
I love it,
Get
fam.
some
So,
value.
yeah, what's been new, man? What's the word?
Man, the good word is, man, I believe I'm gonna be man, I'm gonna officially be a teacher, man. That's the good word, man. A CMS teacher, dog. So yeah, man, we gonna let God work his work.
Oh
With
yeah, that's what's
For
up,
sure,
big
man.
dog.
At Martin Luther King Middle School, man, Martin Luther King Junior Middle School. I think that's in the Hidden Valley area. Um, I'm trying to do some things, man. I'm going to the onboarding process, so I'm not even going to keep the cat in the bag, man. I'm super excited about what God is doing for me in my life,
Let's
man. And I
go.
always love to just share my testimony. I never would have thought I was going to be a teacher, man, but I'm embracing the role. And I think now I'm at a maturity and I'm at an age level where I know, I know the impact, I know the things I can do within the school system. And, I know you follow Rashad and Troy a lot, and was it Rashad? Well, Troy said something that kind of spoke to me. His reasoning for being in the school system was, who else going to do the impact? Who else going to do the work? If it's work that you feel like needs to be done, go in there, make that impact, go in there, be that change. And I'm super excited for the opportunity, any opportunity I could get to step foot in those doors. So, yeah, man, keep me in your prayers for sure. Everybody, all the risers.
Yes,
So
sir.
great things
Yes, sir, man. We
happening.
appreciate you, big dog. Man, I was not expecting you to be a teacher, big dog. So, but you
Come
could do
on.
it, fam. Like you got that personality, you know what I'm saying, that can bring in the youth, you dig, and just have people
Sure.
kind of, pay attention, and that's really what it's about, man. If you can be in school and as a kid, if you can pay attention, to the curriculum, and be interested in it, I think that's going to be something that's going to be impactful, not just for, the person, but just for the community in general. You dig? So they definitely got the right person out there, man. Shoot, congratulations, man. We'll be praying for you too, bro.
Appreciate it for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's
But
been
yeah,
going on
man, I
your
know
way, man?
y'all.
What's new?
What's up?
I said, what's been going on your way, man? What's new?
Man, it's been a lot this week, man. So still recording for the Rise and Rise 30-day challenge. It's coming up real soon. So yeah, y'all keep a lookout on that. Make sure y'all download the app if y'all don't have it. It's in the App Store, it's in the Play Store. It's called Rise and Rise Fitness. Make sure y'all do Rise with the and symbol. So you do Rise and symbol Rise and then Fitness to search for it, and then you'll see it pull right on up. You dig? So make sure y'all go download that app. It's gonna be a lot more information to come. So I can show y'all how to access the videos, excuse me, things like that. So just make sure y'all stay tuned for sure. I'm working on another, certification too, man. So y'all stay tuned on that as well. I plan on hopefully getting something within the next, few months. Still got to study for it, you dig? So yeah, we about to come hard with it. You feel me? The grind don't stop. We always elevating, we always educating, you dig, and you always learn it, especially with fitness. I don't think you just stop. You always want to elevate, you always want to continue to grind, and just make sure you can bring something more valuable, bringing the facts and data statistics. You dig? And then, we can talk about it from there. So yeah, I appreciate it, man. But as you can see, we have another special guest today. So as we welcome the homie,
Hey,
Jabari.
what's
Good with you,
going
fam.
on?
Peace,
Pretty good,
peace.
pretty good.
I'm like you're
How
on the
you
side,
feeling?
bro. You turn your
Yeah,
phone.
let me do it. Something like this.
Yeah, turn to the side. It might be might look a
Oh,
little better.
yeah, breathe, man.
I got you. I'll take you off real quick. You good. But yeah, man. So yeah, y'all see the topic, man. Y'all see the you know, got a little topic for y'all boys. Are we blessed or are we getting finessed? Cheer.
Interesting.
So I know I started last time, you feel me, with the take on it. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm gonna add some context first, and I'll let you go first, show, and I'm gonna let Jabari go next once he get his camera going. I'll finish it up. But the context is it's about incentivizing incentives, right? So do we have the mindset of of it a long-term goal or is it a short-term goal? You dig? And are we really blessed or are we getting finessed? And our finesse can come from the mind state of getting finessed. We can finesse ourselves into not completing the workouts. You dig? We can get finessed out of doing what we're supposed to be doing. So, like for example, you might be working out, and let's just say one day you just don't feel like going. You're like, you know how it happens. One day you don't go, and then next thing you know, you don't go again. And it's a domino effect. So it's like if you don't feel like working out, well, okay, well, I mean, if that's going to eventually lead to something else. So if you don't want to go to the gym, well, would you rather go wait in the hospital? You know what I'm saying? Have you tried that? If you don't want to wait for your body, well, have you tried waiting in a lobby room because you're sick and ain't feeling too good? That's a long wait too. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people think about the long-term effects of their short-term, needless to say, that rocky boat of which one you'd rather do. Doing what we should do versus doing what we feel like we need to do. And either one is going to get you a different outcome. You dig what I'm saying? So a lot of that, it comes from a mind state. You dig? And so are you really blessed or are you finessed? You dig what I'm saying? So what's your take on that? Just giving a little bit of context. And you can even add more context to it too, because I think we pretty much saying the same thing.
Definitely. I believe you can definitely convince yourself. My take on it, I feel like you can convince yourself that you're doing enough. You can convince yourself that you basically give yourself permission to quit. You can convince yourself that, man, this is enough, or I did 15 days of the challenge and I'm good. So you can finesse yourself that way and feel like, okay, if I skip a few days, I'll still be beneficial.
Yes,
I feel like when that aspect, when I hear the topic, I feel like you definitely can finesse yourself. You spoke about mindset. And just kind of convincing yourself that you're doing enough. You definitely want to get out of that comfort zone. I always say, don't you try something new, especially just using this 30-day challenge as an example. Like I said, that example, you can finesse yourself, do half weeks and get a little tired, feel like, oh, okay, well, I did enough to reap the blessings, to reap the benefits at the end. But no, that's not how it works. You have to be honest to yourself. And we speak about mindset all the time. We speak about that mindset. You wanna already be. Don't even be about that finesse life.
Mm-hmm.
Just be true to your word. Be true to it. Commit to it.
Mm-hmm. I like that word, commit to it. You dig? And that's really, And speaking about men, and let's talk about Black men fitness, of course. Black men health. Being a man of your word is something that I don't think we hear it enough. We used to hear it back in the day a lot. Being a man of your word, standing on what you say you're gonna do. You dig what I'm saying? And that's important, because if you say you're gonna do it, then as a man, I think you should do it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do what you say you're gonna do, then you already know a little bit about that guy's character in a sense, just from experience. Like if someone said they're gonna do this and then they ended up not doing it, and you're like, dang, you know what I'm saying? What's the deal? You know what I'm saying? And then, they try to make excuses or whatever the case, there's something called, I know some people, like we say you a solid dude, you a solid brother. So if someone's a solid brother, that's someone who stands on their word. So if you think about the word solid, it's something you don't break. It's something like a foundation. You're very foundated. So it's when you stand on your word, it's hard to break that. So that shows that person has a goal and they're going to achieve it and they're not going to get swayed off that goal no matter what. It's kind of like walking a bridge. When you have a solid bridge, it doesn't move. So when it's windy or, whatever the case, that bridge is solid. You can go across and you fine. But a flimsy bridge isn't solid. So, it's all rinkety. So think about a wooden bridge with the little ropes. The wind blowing it, you swinging, you like, whoa, I don't know if I can walk across this bridge. You know what I'm saying? You might fall. So that's what a lot of people do when they're not solid. You know what I'm saying? They fall. They get swayed real easy like the wind. So the wind is a metaphor for like saying that's your feelings. The wind is your feelings. The wind is saying, oh, you tired. Here go gust of wind. Oh, you had a long day at work. then it's trying to blow that bridge, and all you gotta do is walk across that bridge. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a solid bridge, it's a lot easier for you to not get swayed. So I like what you said, bro. That's solid right there.
I want to add to what you just said, man. That foundation. I don't. I'm sure we did. I'm sure we spoke around it, man. But that's a great topic in itself, man. Just have a solid foundation. I think everything we build, everything we speak about, is so important that first step is just having that solid foundation, knowing that you're gonna be true to your word. I think on any journey, before you even start that journey, you want to check your foundation, because you can build this. You can build this and get so far in your journey and your foundation be weak, and then you quit. Just thinking about what you said, my foundation is so strong. My integrity is so strong that I can't just do 15 days of the challenge and finesse myself and try to convince myself that, I did enough. You feel me? My foundation is strong enough to know that, okay, well, if the challenge is 30 days, I'm going to see to it that I'm going to commit and do the entire challenge, to reap the benefits at the end. So definitely that foundation, we got to hit all around that one on that.
That's real. That's real, big dog. Yeah, Jabari, did you hear what Showtime was saying? I think he was out.
No, I was still setting up, but I decided, like, all right, let me do it the old handheld way. So, but yeah, you was talking in regards to challenges and staying to them, correct? And it's all about like staying the course and not swaying away from the end goal, and just realize like what the big goals at the finish, and just envision all the work that's going to take, and then the gratitude and the feeling of greatness that's going to be at the end that you experience it. So. Wait, was there some other stuff you picked up on?
Yeah, I want to ask you this. So that's a perfect example. I love it. You got the Spartan shirt and everything, so I could already tell you're committed. So let me ask you about your foundation. So if I was to ask you, so I was just speaking about foundation as it correlates to, staying committed to the challenge. But so if I was to ask you to go out with me tonight, have a bunch of beers, do something extremely unhealthy, and you had one of those Spartan runs that you've been training for, we gonna go have beers, eat pizza, or what may seem to others as a harmless night. It would normally be a harmless night, but you have an important event that next day. So speak to it when it comes to your foundation, and if you would go out with me on that night. And how does it mean? What does it mean to you, your foundation? Just something that's really what I was getting around, your foundation, your integrity to go ahead and finish that challenge and be able to do something like that.
Yeah, and with that, honestly, I would say, man, I would love to kick it out, with you, have a good time. But this race means a lot to me. This season means a lot to me. And I've been putting in so much work, so much dedication, so much time that could wait after the race that night. We celebrate, turns on 10, then it'll be appropriate. But yeah, it's about something else that recently I came across that Michael B. Jordan said about delayed gratification. And I think he mentioned about working, studying now and party later. Yeah. And it's just all about that delayed gratification. Like, you know what? This be great. We have a good time with my friends, but I have this event that's coming up that's so important to me. That could just wait just a little bit longer, just a little bit, and then be all worthwhile. So sometimes we got always, delay it a little bit and not let it like hinder our end game goal. So
that's a fact. Yo, I'm gonna piggyback on what you said, bro. Like and first of all, you hit the nail on the hammer. That's really how you handle that win. So Showtime gave you a perfect example of the wind. I was the metaphor I was talking about. He gave you a little gust to see what you was going to do. You know what I'm saying? To see if that bridge was foundation. So your bridge is pretty much your why. You dig? And you immediately started with your why. You know what I'm saying? I would, man. But you know, this Spartan race over here, that's you doing it for a reason. So that's your foundation. Your foundation is your why. You dig? And so you understood and brought that to the forefront. So you wasn't pigeon-toeing it. You wasn't lollygagging behind it. You know, you stayed solid with it and you kept it honest. You dig? And so when we say a man of your word, you know, that's somebody who's being a man of their word to say, look, you know, I like to drink beer. You know, I like to do all this and that, but I got a show to do. You know, I got this and that to do because that's more important. You know how much more respect that'll come from someone that can hear that and say, you know what, I rock with that. Now, of course, you got someone that's going to joke with you and be like, oh, you know, you can skip a day. You know, you always going to have people like that. But somebody standing on their word, it don't matter how many different metaphors you try to gust it around and say, oh, you can do this, you can do that. Foundation is solid to say, man, I hear you. You know what I'm saying? But I got this to do. And I'm going to give you a real life scenario. So, like, you know, back in the day, like maybe this was last year, you know what I'm saying? Like the homies wanted to go out on a work night. Now, mind you, I had to be at work at 6 a.m, which means I had to get up at like 4:45, 5 o'clock in the morning, and they trying to stay up till like 2 a.m. That means I ain't gonna have but like 2 hours of sleep. You know what I'm saying? So now what happened was this. Now this is about understanding what we're doing, what's more important. Now I knew I had to work, right? So I was like, okay, well, what time y'all trying to go out? Oh, you know, we'll go out about 8 o'clock. All right, so here's my stigma. I knew all I needed to do was get at least 6 hours of sleep. I'm good. If I can be back in the bed by, and get 6 hours, I'm straight. So I told him, I said, look, you know what I'm saying? I want to stay out with y'all all night, but I can't even lie. I got to go to work in the morning. I can come out for about an hour and a half, and I got to slide out. You feel me? That was so much more respect to say, oh, you know what, bro? That's all we need. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're coming out, I enjoy. And we had the most fun. And I wanted to stay so bad, but I was like, you know what? I got to work, y'all. I appreciate it. But I was standing my ground to let them know I had to stay back. Now, if I was a flimsy person, I'm gonna stay out. But I know what's gonna happen if I stay out. I get home at 12 o'clock. I ain't gonna get nothing but 4 hours of sleep. I'm not gonna wake up and feel good for the next day. And then you mess around and you start messing up at work. Well, and this is just an example, but you can put this into a real life scenario for your own personal gain. But the point of it is, you stand on your word, you feel better about your next day. That next day, I killed it at work. And I killed it when I went to go work out at the gym, killed it. I had so much energy. I went and did way more. I felt better because I actually did what I said I was going to do. You start to feel a little spark when you do these things. And that's a little bit of example of accomplishing a goal and checking out the list. When you check off that list, you celebrate. Feel good about that. You get that little spark of energy. Go ahead and start celebrating these wins so that way you can get to that bigger goal. It's a lot easier when you have a 1,000-mile race, but you take one step at a time, do a mile at a time, one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? I know from a Spartan race, them things are long, so it takes one small step, easy, one step at a time, and eventually you get through it. It's the same way, same mindset. So you hit that on the hammer, bro. Real talk.
Oh, appreciate that. Yeah, it's all about those subtle stuff, man. and really just tying it down to priorities. See what those specific priorities are to you in your life, and sometimes you gotta delay things. Sometimes you gotta, let certain people know, hey, this means something to me. I could give a little bit of time here, but once that's done, I gotta head out. I got do what I do. So, and that's really people would definitely respect that.
Let me ask you something, Joe. So, and I know you a man of your word too. So I'm a question this, right? So, have you ever had a blessed situation come out from you standing on your word and doing what you said you was gonna do? You dig? And if you have, what was that scenario out? You don't have to give like details, but just the nature of like, what was the blessing that came from you doing what you said you was gonna do versus having the option to not do what you said you was gonna do, knowing that it could take you the other way.
Let me think on that.
Well, that's for both of y'all, really, for Showtime and for
Yeah, let me think on. I still got married though, man. You go ahead, Showtime.
You said a blessed situation.
Yeah, like so.
Standing on my word, basically.
Yeah, like what have you ever had a blessed situation come out of you standing on your word? You know what I'm saying?
And that's
as a
my
result
life.
of you standing on your word, what was the blessing that came from that? If it has, and if it has, you know, what did that look like? What was the nature of it?
And that's my life. That's my life. But I won't be cliche, man. You know me. I have a pretty powerful testimony, man. And ever since my faith in what I believe, ever since I've been, chasing God, man, and just trying to be obedient to God and God's word, man. Everything been, blessed, and me just being committed, standing on my word, saying that I'm going to commit to getting in the body of Christ, getting connected to a church. I'm going to be committed to serve. I'm standing on my word. Not only did I say I was going to be committed, but I got in the church. I was elected as a position as a trustee. I started serving, teaching Sunday schools. I stood on my word, and I see blessings in my life. I spoke about getting. I believe I spoke about getting a 2023 car. A vehicle. I'm like, what? What I even need a 2023 car for? But God gave it to me, you feel me, for being obedient, blessing, standing on my word, what I said, man. And not to be cliche, but I'm being real. My whole life just standing on my word. We spoke about foundation, man. My foundation, you can't really sway my foundation. I believe what I believe, and not just drinking or doing whatever prior to an event. It's just any distractions. If I have something that I train for, it's not happening. I know what I believe. I know what my faith. If you want to kick it or do something, and I got to teach Sunday school the next morning, whatever it is, bro, I probably can't do it. If I got to study for my lesson, you feel me? Like, we got to push that off. Whatever that distraction is, it don't even necessarily have to be drinking. Whatever the distraction is, you feel me? That foundation is solid. And to get back to the point, just yeah, man, specifically just everything, man. I always speak about just breathing good energy, man. That thing is real. If you put out good energy, and like you said, just have integrity. To be about my word is to have integrity. I have integrity in every situation, and I see blessings in every situation, man. I cannot complain about a thing, man. I'm living good, man. Blessing just from what everything we're talking about. Being blessed, not being finessed. I'm being true to everything I'm talking about.
That's real. That's real, man. Yeah, I'm gonna and I'll say this too, man. Like, and when I brought this title out, man, it really sparked some things, because we really and think about the saying, God helps those who help themselves. You know what I'm saying? Faith without work is dead. You hear these things, and and you got to put things in perspective. You know what I'm saying? You can say all day you want to do better. All right. So if I have a bucket of magic, and then I can pour it on you and you get what you want. If somebody say, "Oh, I want to have this," well, why should I give you this magic? You know what I'm saying? What are you actually doing to get what it is that you say you're gonna get? Because if you're just talking, why should I give you this magic? I'm about to give you that because you ain't doing nothing to get it. You just talking. You know what I'm saying? I gotta see some work. I gotta see some incentive. I have to see some action. You dig? I gotta see what are you doing consistently. Because sure, you can do it tomorrow, but are you gonna be able to withhold this magic that I'm about to give you? You dig? You gotta be forged. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that, like a sword being made. You gotta keep heating that thing. You gotta keep banging it. You gotta give it, and it's like making a diamond too. You gotta have pressure under it. You dig? And you gotta be able to continue it from a long state of time for it to show a certain way, because you have to be able to endure. You got to be able to endure it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's another way to look at it. So you can either bless yourself by continuing to do it, no matter how you get swayed, no matter what outside sources come in. That's what you got to do, what you have to do, because you want to have a goal to reach. That's the blessing. The blessing comes from you continuously doing what you say you were going to do. If your goal is to lose, 40 pounds in 6 months, 6 months is a long way. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but your goal set is to lose that. You have 6 months to get there. What are you going to do to get it done? You dig what I'm saying? You have to have a plan of action. You dig? And you need to have some type of passion behind it to continue to get up and get after it. And so this is what, and then Jabbar, we talked about this on the phone last night. We talked
Yes, we
about
did.
incentives. You dig what I'm saying? You go to work in the morning because you're incentivized some money so you can pay for your bills and do what you got to do. You wouldn't get it. Well, I ain't gonna say me, but like a lot of people who have a job and who not happy with it, they just incentivized to get a certain check so they can go back and feed their family. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't have that, they wouldn't get up and do what they do. So it's incentivized. So the blessing is the incentive for you and your hard work. So you go ahead, you do such and such plan for 6 months and you give it all you got. You get the blessing of the magic of losing your 40 pounds and you've accomplished something that's very big that you said you was going to do. Later on down the line, you feel good about it. And now you can see the blessing that comes from what it is that you say you do. Or you can get finesse. And that's what the devil do. Think about the whole story with Adam and Eve. He gave Adam a clear direction. He told Eve what to do. And what the snake do? Snake went in there, got her off track. He said, oh, you can eat that apple. Go ahead. So think about that snake as your own mindset. So that snake is saying, hey, go ahead and eat that little cheesecake over there, Eve. Even though God telling you, nah, you have a certain plan of action. Your plan of action was to do no sweets for 5 months. You on month 4. So what the snake doing? Oh, you only got 1 more month. You did so good for 4 months. Go ahead and get this little cheesecake. And then that's it. Now God looking at you, everybody got to get punished. Now you don't even get to your goals. You got finessed and you finessed yourself because you tried to convince yourself that you was doing good, not sticking to your plan. And now you are fell back. Blessing comes from ones who stay consistent on it, no matter what it is, and you are on the path. So giving yourself a clear direction is that way for you to get your blessing, in my own opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you can really get that blessing unless you're doing something about it. If you say you're going to do it, what's your plan? You know, how you going to get it? How intense or how passionate are you behind what it is that you say? You dig? Because if not, you're more prone to get finessed. You know, but that's my take on it. What you think about that, Jabbar?
Yeah, it's all about small goals that build into big goals. I think and I also believe that in order to, get to bigger goals, you gotta set down milestones, you gotta set down markers and build towards those. And also, track those milestones, see what things you did well, and see what things you didn't do so well, and then go from there and build as a learning experience and stuff like that. So it's all about having a plan, but also working a plan and building along the way. Just building that foundation brick by brick, stick by stick, beam by beam. Yeah, so and especially I think we talked about this last night over the phone about how this year, I mean, this is still the first half of the year, but we're kind of in the middle March, right? And that, everybody, well, for a good bit of people have had resolutions. How many people are sticking to those resolutions now? Not that many. So, but it's best for anybody in regards to weight loss or projects or financial goals or occupation goals. It's all about having much long plan and having those steps in place so you can build towards to, so it then be much rewarding in the future in that very end, and then be like, oh wow, I did this, but look at all these wins along the way, and then be very, very fulfilled with that.
That's it, man. You gotta live with it too, man. And sometimes you gotta reroute. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it could be a little hole. Even for me, when I got into that injury, I had to stop working out. I had no choice. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to go through surgery. I tore my patella tendon, for the ones that know, and it took me out of commission, for a couple months, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't even walk up my own stairs. You know what I'm saying? Because my brace on, and I couldn't take it off, so I had to let my body heal. You know what I'm saying? But I had to reroute. You dig? So I say, okay, well, I need to take a couple months off. All right. So what's the next plan of action for me to get back to it? And so my next plan of action was to go through, strenuous workouts, hard workouts, but I had to set my foundation was already set, which is good. So I could always go back to the basics. So I had to figure out how to walk again, how to train my legs to walk normal versus, limping and stuff, because when you go that long without walking, you tend to, you get used to the crutches. So now it's time to take the crutches off, and now you got to use your leg again. You gotta add that strength back into it. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, it was nothing but a reroute for me to get back on track to where I was. Kind of like taking the highway. Sometimes you got to stop for gas because you run out of gas before you get to your destination. You got to take an exit, go fill back up, take that exit right on back down that road, and you continue on that journey. You dig what I'm saying? And so, I think rerouting is important. And what you said was important because you said you have to be self-aware. So understanding where you are, so you can say, okay, well, this is where I'm weak at. This is where I failed at. Because sometimes you can set a goal and not reach it, but that don't mean you're not trying. That means, okay, so if this is your goal, let's back it up a little bit and get something you can get, master it, and then you level up, and that's a form of rerouting. That's a form of, just kind of getting back on track, but finding yourself so you know what you're good at. You dig? It's kind of like working out. I knew that I was stronger. Well, I have strong legs, so I had to make sure my legs were continuing with momentum, but I had to get my bench press up. You know what I'm saying? So I noticed that I had to go up a little bit on bench press. So I had to do 2 a days. Like I was doing legs, I'll do 2 a week on legs. So let's do 2 a day on bench, one with strength and the other for the work. You know what I'm saying? But that's another form of reroute because the workout that I do is going to be different from the next man down the street. But the point is we all have a goal in mind that we're going to get to. And you can do it differently.
That's true. It's true right there.
Yes, sir. But I just want to kind of give I'm going to give some facts real quick and I want to see what y'all think about it. So do y'all know anything about the American Psychological Association? It's called the APA.
A little familiar. Yeah, a little familiar, yeah.
So the APA, they actually did a survey study on stress in America. Y'all can look this up too. So it actually talked about the stress in America, and it started in 2020 because obviously we had COVID, so they do surveys to see how the nation is doing when it comes to health. And so what they stated was there's been surveyed that we're in the most mentally stressed state as humans that we've been in for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? And they said this is going to affect us even years forward. It's going to affect the way that we have mental health. This is going to affect the way that we even communicate with people due to the social distancing that was mandated from the nation because you had the social distance. You couldn't go to work. Some people had to work from home. You know what I'm saying? Some people lost their jobs. Actually, a lot of people lost their jobs. But, it made folks, antisocial. Most antisocial, and not everybody was affected. Some people they can bounce back, but the point is the health of the nation did decrease. It is on a decline, and it's going to affect us in the future as well. And so what they're saying is nearly 8 out of 10 adults, like pretty much saying the pandemic made a significant stress on their life. So that's a big number. You dig? And so if it's affecting them like this is going to be something that we have to look at our future health. So we talk about Black man health, one thing that, let me get y'all's take on that first, so knowing that stat, what are some solutions that what would you guys do to combat those stats, to continue to improve your stress levels and mental health levels, and overall health and wellness in general? I'll start with you, Showtime. What's your take on it?
Well, that's pretty strong, but definitely, I understand it. I feel personally the human body. We like to operate in the comfort zone. All that change for people. People wasn't ready for that. The human body, we're not. We're I feel like we're made to be around each other. So it's different. It's different, and having to readjust to it can be extremely different for a lot of people. You know, a lot of people wasn't used to that. For a lot of us, for all of us, really, that was a brand new thing. We've never been, you know, forced to do that, so it's new to all of us. You know, I think if well, no, I won't even go into that portion of it. I'll just say, for me, you know, that exercise, man, health and wellness. We don't just preach this stuff. We don't just talk about this stuff. You know, running, you know, staying active. Those Spartan races, I think, are great. I love calisthenics, just to get out and pull up and just do some stuff in the park. You know, don't sit there in a depressed state, man. I always say, you know, a lot of times, you know, some of that depressed. I've been in depressed states before. You know, I've been without. You know, my heart stopped in 2006, so I've been there before. But I think a lot of times, you know, I chose to kind of keep my mind on what was keeping me down in the dirt. You know, and a lot of times, some of the solutions that we can do are some of the things that we're doing. You know, we got problems too, like the next man. You know, but I don't sit there and, you know, I just try to keep finding solutions. I'm not going to sit there and cry, you know, because I can't figure out what extra 100, you know, gonna come in for rent or whatever, man. I'm gonna figure some things out. We're gonna find some solutions. We're gonna keep the faith and we're gonna keep it pushing. I'm not gonna be in a depressed state, you know. I understand. So
Yeah.
How about you, Bar?
Well, for me, hearing that, that's already, you know, it's, you know, unfortunately, like very, very disturbing, very, very disheartening. Reflecting back for myself, you can give a little personal story that, especially with the lockdowns, you know, that was different for everybody. For myself, primarily, it came at a very unique time because shortly just before the lockdowns, just before it was just a little bit of March of 2020, I was getting over a breakup, which had me shook. Felt like somebody died. And for a couple weeks prior to the lockdowns, I was stewing over that. Then one day found out I got furloughed for an unforeseen time. And then it basically forced me to be in a cocoon. But during that time, I made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to wallow in my pities. I was going to, you know, look internally and really do a lot of self-work. But in that also reach out to people and stay connected with the people I care about, my dear friends, my family. Most importantly, God, and still stay in the faith. And so with that during that time, you know, I progressed through and, you know, and really, and, you know, didn't deter as much. So for the future of this nation, primarily, it's, you know, going to have to come down to take care of health in all facets, both physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, still staying, you know, key on a foundation of having a, you know, healthy family, make sure those relationships are strong. And also, and especially in dealing with stress, just know when to deplug from the busyness of life. Just like, you know, whenever it gets some time to just have some quiet time, to meditate, to relax, to unwind the mind, so we're not just, you know, bombarded with, you know, so much stuff with work, with school, with family, you know, with all the stresses that we're going in life, and just really just have our minds relaxed. And also, I don't know within that study, was social media ever touched on within that study? Because I believe something else is always great to keep out this as well too. It's like we gotta stop comparing our lives from the next person to the next person, and that creates distress in that itself as well. You know?
Yeah, creates comparison. You know, when you start comparing, you know, you start to lose confidence, you know, in itself.
Right.
I like what you said, man. Deplug, I think is key. I think that's a key takeaway, man. Deplug, you gotta have something that you can deplug. Like I mentioned, even for me, man, people look at me sometimes because I'm so transparent, you know, on the social media platforms with my life, just living out loud. But I go through things too. But part of my deplugging is, you know, getting out there, pulling up on the bars, man, not focusing so much on. Like I said, man, I got things I'm getting together like the next man, you know, but not focusing so much. You see what I'm saying? And having a faith that it's going to get better. You know, you do what you can do. Be a man of your word. Have that integrity. Like the caption of the topic tonight, you know, shoot towards more of the blessings and shy away from the finessing. And I'll leave some of my closing statements now. Kobe, I know I mentioned, you know, just effort matching the expectations. We heard all night, you know, how to hit those goals. You mentioned the micro goals. Barry, you mentioned the micro goals, leading up to the macro goals. I always say, man, your effort just has to match your expectations. Kobe, you gave a great example about, you know, rehabbing for the injury because you really wanted to get back to yourself. You feel me? You already knew, okay, I got to put in this amount of effort to get this expectation. You know, this is the desired outcome, so I have to put in this effort. And I'll go back to my, you know, just my challenge. If you do the 15 days, you know, you gotta make sure that that effort that you're putting in, if you only do 15 of it, what are you expecting to get on your outcome? If you're expecting 100% results, you know, no, not wavering, you're expecting to have a good outcome, then you want to make sure that you're checking that the input that you're putting in, that effort.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that's real, man. I'm a I'll close with this, man. Y'all killed it, bro. Y'all killed it, man. Y'all said
Thank
literally
y'all.
everything like to combat it because you know, at the end of the day, both of y'all are right. You know, we need to connect with people who we care about, meaning keep a good circle. You know what I'm saying? We need to have a support system. You dig what I'm saying? I think having a support system of like-minded people, you know, helps us in this mental health space because, you know, having support is what holds that foundation. You know, we can always fall. Everybody can say how positive they are until something happens, and then we need a shoulder to lean on sometimes. So I think our circle is someone that keeps us, you know, grounded. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, have somebody you can call, you know, have somebody you can talk to because, you know, we all need to release something. You know what I'm saying? And so,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we all need to have that foundation to kind of keep us up. You know what I'm saying? Keep us grounded, you know. So always connect with your loved ones, you know what I'm saying? You know, and divest from things that's not really benefiting you, you know. And I think Barry said it your best, man. Get yourself some self-care. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
and I think I said this before, but I'm gonna keep saying it again because man, Black man health is you know 2023 for us. You dig? So I'm gonna say
Yeah.
this, man. You know, for us, you know, stress, you know, leads to heart issues, and that's one thing we have. You know, it's a lot of stress that we have. You know, and a lot of that, I'm gonna just say this, man. It comes to, like Showtime said, standing on your word, be a man. If you say you're gonna do it, you better do it. Like have a must mindset. Like we must do it. I think Jabari, I think you had like what I said when I was like, have a must mindset. So instead
Mm-hmm.
of saying you should do this, say you must do this. You know, have a different perspective to make it a reality. To say, oh, I know I should be, you know, eating better. No, you must eat better. You dig? You
Mm-hmm.
want to save your own life. You know what I'm saying? Because the only person who's going to do it is you. You dig? And so self-care, you know, for me is meditation. You know, self-care is for me going outside, getting some sunlight because self-care is doing something that benefits you. You dig? So meditation is a way that you can disconnect from the world. You don't even take your phone. You know, if you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
meditate, put your phone
Bingo.
away. Just turn it off. You don't need any distraction. You need yourself. You need to be there with yourself. You need to close your eyes and don't think about anything sometimes. So our body, we need sleep so our bodies can rest. While our mind needs sleep too. So when you're sleeping, most people don't know your mind doesn't rest. Not really. You know what I'm saying? So we want to rest our minds too. So meditation is a way that we rest our minds, or you know, getting that REM sleep. You know, so we want to make sure our brain waves are getting recharged. You know, and so having a must mindset, you know, being a man of your word, and you know, eating high quality foods. It's our duty to eat the best foods to, you know, fill us up with what we need. So I'm gonna give y'all an example. So for men, I'm gonna tell y'all it's important from a plant-based perspective to eat a lot of quinoa and to eat a lot of habanero peppers. I'm gonna tell you why. Because this is what regulates our androgen levels. And for those who don't know anything about androgen levels, this is the natural testosterone that men have in our bodies. This is what generates us to be as big as we are, as strong as we are. You dig what I'm saying? And so, you know, for black men, we naturally have a high androgen percentage, but we also do the things that go against it. So we don't work out like that. We don't get enough sunlight. So go outside, taking a walk, eating high quality foods like quinoa, habanero peppers, things that take, you know, things that's going to regulate us to feel better. You know, you want to eat for your mood. I know me and Showtime spoke about it last week. You know, what you eat, it affects your mood. So you want to feed foods that's going to get you on a high or a better mood feeling. You know what I'm saying? So eating great vegetables, eating your fruits, you know, anything that's high in alkaline is going to regulate your blood flow to update your pH. So that way you'll be in a higher frequency. So we feel better when we're in a higher frequency. We're able to do better and feel better about things. And so keeping this in a regimen and having a routine will get you there, you know. So I'll leave it with those three, you know, and to be a man of your word, stand on your ground, have some self-care, you know, connect with people, you know, and treat yourself right, you know, eat the best quality foods, you know, have the best people around you, you know, and divest from anything that goes against those things. You dig? And so that way you can set and be on your way. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, this was a good show, man.
Sure was.
Real. And Barry, I appreciate you coming through, man. You know, you always look big dog, you know what I'm saying? I know you got Spartan race coming up. When's your Spartan race for anybody want to come out and support?
My race, all right. My racing season starts My racing season starts March 18th.
March 18th, y'all. Mark your calendars.
March 18th going down. Spartan race, doing the Spartan Beast out in Georgia, Atlanta. Well, Conyers, really. But we'll be out there getting it by roughly 14 miles, close to 40 obstacles. You know, going to kick off this race season right. Going to get after it. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to connecting with all my people out there. You see me.
Yeah.
Don't be scared to say hello.
Yeah, you're going to be killing it, man. You're going to kill it, big dog. I was seeing the races, man. You know, they run and they get dirty, y'all. So I already know, Jabbar, you know, but yo, if y'all ever seen these races, man, like they be covered in this mud. They got, you know, these shorts on and t-shirts. Some people ain't got no shirt on. And sometimes, man, it's cold. Like, there's no way.
and you know, one of the things
to go out there and do that. And to run 14 miles in that type of, you know, environment, you got to go somewhere mentally, man, for you to, you know, finish that race. You know,
exactly.
Do they even time y'all? I don't think they time y'all for this race, do they?
Oh, they do time. Yeah,
they do.
Time.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but this one in particular is just really just myself, just be obstacle efficient, you know, and keep a good road pace, not necessarily going for personal best. So, and that's the key for me, and yeah, people getting after it, and actually prepare for some of that little cold, and sometimes that cold waters. Sometimes we do a lot of cold showers. Yeah, nice baths, but some close, and that's
I know about it. Yeah, that ice therapy.
It's good for the information. Bringing that down. Yeah, it's good for that.
I might need to take a cold bath tonight. Honestly, man. I'm about to soak these legs, man. I'm sore. I'm gonna be more sore because I actually gotta go work legs today.
Yeah.
All right, big dog. Well, I appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, Showtime. You digging? Congratulations, man. You know you want to teach you, bro. I know you're gonna be so enthusiastic to these kids, man. And you're gonna help out the community. You dig what I'm saying? You've been here for a minute, and if anybody can do it, man, I know Showtime can do it. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm here to see the elevation in all my brothers. You dig? So yeah.
That's up.
We'll get up out of here, man. I know everybody got to go, but y'all already know how we do. You dig? When we face with an obstacle, what we do, baby?
We rise and rise, baby. We rise and rise. Peace.
Peace.